Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Where's DJ gone? Let's put him back.
Yeah, I disappeared. Got mutant. Sorry, Jess.
Yeah, you got mutated, mate. You got mutated. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Shane, how you doing, my friend?
All good, man. All good. Can't complain. Like I was saying to you earlier, I had a bit of a power outage earlier. The wind over here up in the mountains was horrendous. I had to lock down the bins, and I went out and we had a sort of a shed outside, and the doors had come loose and they were slapping off, and it was out with the hood up. But power's back on now. Going to do this show, then go down, get a Chinese. Little one's birthday today. She's turning 13, so we'll be watching a movie and stuff for her. And yeah, listen, can't complain. Life's good, apart from Arsenal.
Yeah, nice one, man. Nice one. DJ, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, all good. All good. Busy time of year. Fed up with this weather, though, Jez. I'd sooner it be cold and frosty and clear and
same
sunshine than all this rain and heavy wind. But yeah, looking forward. One of the best shows of the week for me, and glad I'm on with the likes of yourself and Shane and Kenny. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, look, I'm sure there'll be a few things to talk about.
There is. Kenny, Ken. How you doing, my friend? And I'm going to come straight to you straight after you just said what you want to say. How you doing?
Yeah, everything's massive, big game tomorrow. I'm sure we're going to cover the prospect of Saliba coming back, and Max Damon out of the UEFA squad to be replaced by Gabriel Jesus, and obviously the Declan Rice conundrum. When is he going to get a rest?
Interesting. Well, we're coming to this comment here. It's quite interesting. Sahal, a show of the 4 that's banned from Islington. Really? Okay.
Yeah, well, he's sarcastic. He's being sarcastic.
He's being sarcastic.
Tongue in cheek.
It'd be quite. Somebody did actually say last week that Kenny, you've never been in Islington. I've never been seen in Islington. DJB's never been seen in Islington.
Don't know where it is.
You, Shane, I thought it's a bit weird. A bit weird because you boys go every home game, so I can't work that one out unless you.
I was only born in Islington, and I lived in Islington. I've lived all over North Islington all my life, and I'm on the outskirts of North Islington, as well most of the time as well. So I don't know where this comes from, but it's nice though, isn't it? Because it's a good story, and the truth has a horrible way of getting in the way of a good story. I prefer a good story rather than truth, probably. It's more interesting that we're all banned because it makes a good story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, never been there, mate. Don't know where N5 is. No idea. Never been there. Shane, let's start with you, mate. Todd's question. Good question, this. Big up, guys. What do everyone think of Portsmouth away in the FA Cup?
Yeah, listen, we'll get through. We'll rest a few players for that. We'll get through. You and me discussed this in the summer, Jez, when we were talking about what we think this team will win. I think with both cups and the Champions League, we'll be all right until we get a tough team, and then especially in the domestic cups, if we get a tough team away from home, i.e., anyone in the top 10 away from home in either of the cups, I think that's normally when we come unstuck. We're all right against teams like this. It'll be a tough game, Fratton Park. January, but we should be all right. We should be able to make 11 changes and go and do them easily. You know what I mean? Will he make 11 changes? I don't know. With a game like that, I'd be more worried about the rest. And I mean, we're going to get into the Declan Rice stuff and things like that as the show goes on. Saliba's still not training, apparently. So that knock he got in training, which the second I heard that, I said it's a lie, because this manager does not rest someone if they get a knock. We know that. He got more than a knock against Liverpool and he made him play. So this is a flare-up of the ankle injury that he's rushed him back from twice. You can be sure of that. I put my house on that. It's a flare-up of the ankle that he rushed him back from, because it started to come out that he was actually injured or feeling it before the Bayern Munich game, which he made him play the whole game. Then he waited a couple of days, said, he's after getting a knock in training. Then it started to get leaked that he was hurt before the Bayern game. So now he's just saying, it's a tweak or it's the ankle injury. He keeps rushing him back from it, keeps injuring him. And apparently Rice is training behind closed doors with Trossard. We need to get into that as well at some stage. I mean, to put an injured player on the bench is a disgrace, by the way. To openly admit that he wasn't ready and then look at your bench when you want to bring on a winger and see Ethan Wanyeri, Madueke, Martinelli and say, do you know what, I'll sub on the injured one. Oh, that's what I'll do. I'm going to sub on the injured player. He's getting a bit of heat now for this, and I'm glad, but he will rest Rice 100% for the Bruges game because he's feeling the pressure now because people are talking about it. Even some of the Cantons of this world are saying, oh, we should rest him for this game. So he'll rest Rice for the Bruges game, maybe sack 2, and then Rice will never get another rest until he drops until the end of the season, because then they can go back and say, well, he rested him for Bruges, didn't he? Like they do for the Forest game. Oh, he rested him for Forest, didn't he? He didn't rest him for Forest, by the way. He picked up a knock the game before. He put him on the bench and brought him on for the last half hour. We were 3-0 up. That's not a rest. So, yeah, but the Portsmouth game, though, it should be. I mean, if we're slipping up there, there's serious issues. I think we could make 11 changes and steamroll them quite easily. And hopefully he does do that.
Yeah, that's what Sahal's saying. Portsmouth are 22nd in the championship, play the under-21s, and we will beat them. That's a fair comment, but Portsmouth, decent cup team, difficult place to go and play, especially in January. It's cold, it's wet, the wind blows straight in off the Solent. Yeah, it's not the greatest place to go, but question for you, mate, DJB. Where is it? Where's the question gone? Lost it. There you go. I'll ask you, and then Kenny, you jump in after. Question for the panel: how far do you think Arsenal will go in the Champions League?
Well, it's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them. I said that this team was probably built and suited better for the Champions League than the Premiership, and I think that's how it will pan out. I think we've got a better chance of winning the Champions League this season than we have the Premiership. Because it obviously depends on the draw we get in the knockout stage and stuff like that. But when teams are more open against us, we tend to do a little bit better. However, it still comes down to this in-game management. It still comes down to the tactics of the manager, what he does. Comes down to, again, whether the players are fit enough on the day, whoever we play. So, for instance, if we get a Bayern Munich in the knockout stage, it'd be a different Bayern Munich to what we played at the Emirates a couple of weeks back. Yeah, we've got as good a chance as anyone, I would imagine, in the Champions League. Am I confident? Not really. I'm just not confident going into any game, even the Portsmouth game. I'm not even confident. Do you know, this is how I am now. I'm just taking a step back and just taking it game by game. But no, we've got a good chance in the Champions League if everyone's fit and if everyone's on it. It's vital that we get our full team back in the Champions League. You don't want to be going into the Champions League with makeshift centre halves and Timber not playing in his usual position and stuff like that, because the simple reason is teams will get the better of us. And I keep saying it, Jez, we need to find a way to get our attacking force on it, because we just haven't had it this season. And I just say this, what worries me is that players under this manager over the years have not really performed in attack. You know, we saw it with Aubameyang, we see it with Lacazette, now we're seeing it with Gyökeres. Saka's not the world-class player that we're all expecting him to be. He seems to have levelled out and performances are inconsistent and you're looking poor. You know, and on the other side, you're relying on Trossard when we wanted to sell him in the summer. So, you know, to win the Champions League, you've got to be flawless in every single department. That's going forward, taking your chances, defensively, midfield, attack and defensively. To win that cup, you've got to be absolutely flawless in all levels. And there's still question marks in certain areas that we look vulnerable in. And that was plain to see against Aston Villa. Have we got a chance of winning the Champions League? yeah, we're up there with any of the top teams in the Champions League. But I'm keeping very open-minded, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Kenny, Champions League, I mean, yeah, I agree with DJB. I think personally, knowing our Premier League performances over the last 3 years, I think we've got a better chance of going in on the Champions League myself.
I think the thing that kills us in the Champions League is our league program and the fact that we're deep into we're deep into the Carabao Cup. We don't know what's going to happen with against Crystal Palace. I have no idea. And we've got Portsmouth. Now, as much as we want to win everything, there's going to be games where we ain't going to need those games. But because we haven't won a trophy for a long time, they're going to take priority. I worry about, because of the injuries we're getting now and the injuries I fear we're going to get in the future, I think that will just cost us. And it'll be fatigue as well. I think it'd be doubly hard now for an English side to win the Champions League.
I think that's fair.
And that's why I'm really worried. We've gone one better than we did in 24 when we got to quarterfinals. We were going for the league title in 24 when we went for the got to quarterfinals. Last year we had nothing to play for. The Champions League was the alpha and omega. I just fear by the time we get to the business end of the Champions League, we will be deep in the title race. We'll be getting injuries. And I think the European clubs, your Real Madrids, your PSGs, your Bayern Munichs, I think they're going to be fresher and have more energy. And they'll make signings in January. And I think that'll be us. I really hope we do win the Champions League, but to win the Champions League, you have to make it your priority. I think the Champions League is their priority. PSG made the Champions League their priority because they had to win the Champions League because of the money they spent over the years. Man City had to make the Champions League a priority because of Pep. Liverpool's the only team that probably won the Champions League when it wasn't their priority. But all the teams that have won the Champions League, it's been their priority. The Champions League isn't our priority this season, and that will do for us.
It's an interesting one, that. Interesting. Take me up, Cherry, man. Morning, lads. Did we hear the great news? The man responsible for the injuries has left the club. Yeah, he was the soft tissue guy, according to Top Gooners, and now there will be more injuries, I guess, in there. Interesting.
Yeah, he did 15 years at Chelsea with no issues. You know what I mean? He did 15 years at Chelsea. I'd say he's leaving because he's just getting players thrown at him every 2 minutes. Here's another one for you. Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. You know what I mean? He just the things they'll come up with, man. The masseuse, Jez, they're blaming the masseuse on injuries.
He's got off to set up his own business, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So good luck to him. Good luck, man. Big up Kawaji, man. Big up Jez's Arsenal 67, DJB, Shane and Kenny again. Legends in the panel and the chat. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, my friend, as always. Right, question, guy. I haven't even got onto the subjects I wanted to talk about. Arsenal 2045. Jez, please ask the lads if they think Zupimendi is the new Shane, I'll come to you first. Is the new Carlos Vela? What do you reckon?
Yeah, in physique wise he is, but no, because with Wenger, with Carlos Vela, he knew he couldn't trust him in big games. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. He wasn't getting thrown in for every single game. He played a few League Cup games, came off the bench a couple of times in the league when we were 3-0 up, and he was a bit part player that Wenger could see instantly. I don't think you're ever going to be good enough. Where this guy has wanted Zubimendi for 2 years, so now he's going to play him like he does Havertz, like he does Odegaard, and just keep playing him and pray that it works out someday so he can prove that he's right. He doesn't have the balls of a Pep to take a great issue he spent 100 million on and go, yeah, no, hasn't worked out the way I wanted. I'll say, yeah, I'm a big enough man to admit that it hasn't worked out. You're not going to work for me. And I'm not too proud to say I got it wrong. We've said it for time. Me and DJB have been especially vocal since the summer that come the new year, when all these players are back, we will see basically the same team that we saw last year, because this manager will shoehorn them all back in. So is he the new Carlos Vela? No, because like I said, Carlos Vela was used as a bit part player where this manager hasn't seen that Zubamendi's not good enough, and he's going to keep playing him. And he'll get back the whole way because you have all these top Gooner channels and people saying that he's the best defensive midfielder in the world, and we owe Sociedad double money for what we got, and he's making tackles that we're not seeing. We're not seeing the tackles he's making apparently. So yeah, no, not the new Carlos Vela. I had more hope for Carlos Vela.
Yeah, I did actually. Never quite got it, did he?
No.
DJB, what do you reckon on that? Do you reckon he's the Zubamendi's the latest Carlos?
I'm yet to find out to compare to Zubamendi with any Arsenal player, to be honest, in the past. I mean, I'm struggling to find out whether he's like Carlos Vela or who he's like. Away in big matches when he's under pressure, he's like Donald Duck on ice skates at the moment. So I'm struggling to find out what his role is because, as I said, I watch him and he's very indecisive in defence. Very indecisive. He don't know who to pick up. He's in two minds, and once you're in two minds, that split second is a goal. And he ain't brave enough. He doesn't win the ball. He's not aggressive enough for me in that position. When he retains the ball and he's got the ball at his feet and he's got space, yeah, I agree with most people. He looks comfortable. He looks good on the eye in certain areas, but that's not what we've bought him for. People are forgetting we've bought him as a number 6. We've bought him as a defensive midfield player. We haven't bought him to look pretty and walk the bride down the aisle. We've bought him for a number 6. We've bought him to do a specific job. That's what we've bought him for. We got so-called ball players in Eze, who by the way the manager didn't want, forced upon him because of the Havertz injury. We've got Odegaard and people like that, the Sakas and all of that to create. This guy was bought in. People forget this. This guy was bought in to do a specific job, and that is to protect what's behind him. And he doesn't do it good enough for me. People are classing him on what he does with the ball at the Emirates against the Burnleys and everything like that. No disrespects. The facts of the matter is, it's what he does defensively. And I can't compare him to any Arsenal player, great defensive midfield players that I've seen over the years. I can't compare him because he's not in that league, Jez. So for me, unless he improves defensively, I'm gonna hang question marks above his head. I don't rate him. I think I think there was better out there. If you'd have got me Caicedo alongside Declan Rice, then we'd be talking.
Yeah, good point.
And which we could have done. But no, we stuck with Zubamendi, who we signed, by the way, last January, remember? And he didn't come to the club till well in July and gone. So there was question marks over there. This is a guy, remember, that was keeping his options open for Real Madrid. So everyone gasses up Zubamendi, but the fact of the matter is, this guy's heart was never in Arsenal. He was waiting for the Real Madrid deal, and then he would have turned his back on Arsenal. And now he's at Arsenal. Oh, he's this, he's that. Look what he's done. Look what he's made Declan Rice into. You take Zubamendi out of that midfield, and Declan Rice will still be Declan Rice. So I just don't get it, and I don't get it. If he can prove me wrong, fair enough. But at the moment, he's not doing that. He's weak.
Yeah, for me, I'm sorry. Call me harsh. I just don't think he's got the physicality for the Premier League. Sorry.
And he will cost us, Jez.
Yeah, he will.
He will cost us.
Oh, yeah.
He will cost us more than we gain from him. I'm telling you that now. Yeah,
well, he has already, in my opinion, to be fair. Kenny, I'll ask you a different question, mate. Where is it? Where's it gone? There, that one there. There's a good question. This from Kaylin, De Boer's t-shirt. Gentlemen, I seriously think a conversation should be had about moving Saka to the 10. I feel like the lad is too predictable out on the right. Oh, that's a great question. Kenny, what do you think on that one?
Yeah, he's definitely restricted at the right-hand side position. Yeah, because ironically, that's where he's played his best ball over the years. But certain times, like, if you want to really get the best out of him, and you generally believe that he's a match winner, then you got to get him in positions where he can hurt the opposition. He can win his matches. At the moment, I still think that I was astonished that he wasn't tried, in either a free role or a false number 9, on the basis that what we've seen from him this season, he's more willing to be a goal scorer than he is being a creator. Obviously, that's his bread and butter. But the more I see of him, the more I look at his ceiling. Eventually, he's going to have to move from that position. I'm convinced of it. I'm convinced just to get the best out of him. And I generally believe that, because you look at him now. There were instances. I mean, it's linked to Gyökeres. It's not just him who's doing it, but there's times when Gyökeres is in really good positions, but he's not going to get the ball because they use him as a decoy. Brentford game screamed with it, especially when he came on. And that's Villa. Well, there wasn't really room for Gyökeres, but I always say that he's our main man, and if a player's your main man, get the best out of him. If it means moving into positions where he can get goals, he can win your games, and it's got to be explored, Mikel. Because if he doesn't play to the best of his ability, there'll be no league titles. I'd say that for starter. Declan Rice can run his nuts off. He can play to his best of his ability, but the cutting edge that we crave, the cutting edge we demand, invariably will come from Bukayo Saka. So we have to, find ways of getting the best out of Bukayo Saka.
True. I hear him. I don't know about it. I've lost a lot of faith in Saka. I won't lie. Matty, big up Matty, mate. Great show earlier. I watched that, mate. Cheers, brothers. Jesus is now taking Max down on the spot. They are using the cloak of injuries as the alibi. He can't register again for 60 days. As per UEFA, so that tells you all you need to know. Shane, yeah, good point. Very good point from big up Matty. What do you reckon on that one, mate?
Yeah, look, I'm sure Dowman probably has picked up a knock, but I think they're dead set on selling Jay if they can in January, this is probably just get him in the shop window, extra couple of games to get him in the shop window. If Dowman is injured, I mean, here we go again. Obviously, the intensive training. Big up to Maddie, man. He pulled up some of the quotes of these players on the training at this club on his show today, and it's staggering. Even when they're being careful of what they say, it's still damning on this guy. That injured players still having to come in at 7 a.m. to do gym work, and if you drop 5% intensity, we do that. And people go, "Oh, this is great. This is amazing." It's not amazing. Look at the injury. I'm so tired, and you know what? I have people coming into me now going, "Oh, you're getting what you wished for." Coming into my chat, all the injuries, you're getting what you. Instead of just going, "Shit, man, you were right." They have to go, "Oh well, you were." Why would the people that are saying, "Please, I'm begging you, please rest Royce, please rest Saka, please rest Timber, please," we're the ones that don't want injuries. So when I hear, "Oh, here's another injury," I don't go, "Hey, yes, now I'm going to go live and tell everybody I told you so." I'm going, "Oh, for fuck's sake, man, another one." And yes, I'll go live the next morning and go, "Look, you see, he was coming," and I'll say it with anger. I'm so tired of the injury excuse, man. And big up to Curtis Shaw. He had a meltdown the other day, but I don't even call it a meltdown. I call him just letting it out, man, because that's what this club does to you. And he's the same as me. I don't want to ever hear injuries. I don't want to ever hear injuries. I said that numerous times, and especially when I keep mentioning the Calafiori one, sent home by Italy, injured, doesn't train for 2 weeks. And I said, even if he's on the bench against Tottenham, I don't want to ever hear this. Plays the whole match, subbed off in the 90th minute, hadn't trained for 2 weeks. This guy, and I repeat, for the people that haven't got it, he not only put an injured, and he admitted it himself that Trossard wasn't ready. He not only put an injured player on the bench, he subbed him on at half time when he had other wingers on the bench, when he had Madueke, who he wants to play out the left, where he had Martinelli, who that game was made for Martinelli, by the way. We're playing against the highest line in the league now that Ange is gone. Villa probably play the highest line in the league, so you can get in behind him. And he plays a false 9 and a winger who's going to want to come inside. And then against Brentford, who play a low block, he starts Martinelli, who needs space to get in behind. These are basic tactics, basic tactics that this guy cannot figure out. I mean, I was saying it this morning. You could get a fan of, say, American football or ice hockey or basketball or anything like that, and they go, well, I've never really watched soccer before. And if you explained the rules to them and then made them watch that Villa game, and then that you were explaining as you go and say, yeah, we'll see the way Villa play a high line. A lot of teams don't play their defence that high forward. They play it a bit back. And you were explaining to them, you go, okay, so you'd want someone that's quick then, would you? You'd figure it out straight away what you need. And he can't get his head around it. He cannot figure out basic tactics. So when I look at the Dowman thing, and this is all just, you never know what to believe with this guy. Whether Dowman's injured, I don't know. Whether he's used as an excuse to get Jesus into the squad, I don't know. He could easily be telling this kid, listen, just take a couple of days, pretend you're injured. Who knows with this guy? Because he told us that that Saliba had a knock in training. No, he didn't. That's his ankle again. And someone just put in there, Villa are a bogey team. Yeah, okay, but that just means that he's had longer to figure them out, mate, and he still hasn't figured them out. Same manager. He's a bogey team or no bogey team. The reason they're our bogey team is because they have a much better manager who wraps this guy up in knots every time he faces him. So I don't know what to believe anymore, Jez, with this guy. When I hear something about a player being injured or not injured or whatever, I just wait to see. And the thing is, with the injuries, people are saying, oh, well, Rice, you see, he wasn't injured against Brentford. Well, number one, he was already strapped up. That's been seen now when he came off. He had strapped up before the game. Then he injured whatever he already had injured. And then he played the next game. So trust me, this guy's been injured for a long time. Same with Ben White. There's several of them that are injured. And we won't find out about it until months later when they finally get surgery. So, yeah, I just don't know what to believe, Jez, if I'm being honest with you, mate.
No, it's a merry-go-round. I just got a couple of comments here. One, big up, Dow. Hope you're well, mate. Member for 40 months. Dow's been here from day one. Big up, Jez. Ready for Chase at our beloved club. Not happy right now. Happy holidays, mate, and to the top class panel. Big up to you, Dow. Always a real one. It's an interesting. Kelly. This one. Now I've got another question. Then another one, a different one for DJ. Kelly, Arsenal at 1994. Big up, mate. Thanks for joining. Jez fella, why is there so much panic when we are top of the league and played all big boys away?
Well, it's a good question. It's an excellent question. The problem is with Arsenal fans is that where you see bravado, inwardly you'll see fear and trepidation, because the simple reason is that you're only ever going to see Arsenal show any sort of bravados when they won the league, and they're perennial winners. We're not perennial winners. Despite the fact that people say we're going to win it by April, that we're this top team, everyone fears us. We've got the best squad in the world, the best centre halves in the world, and the best, players, the best coach. The fact is that that's all opinions. Football's about facts. The reason why there's a little trepidation, a lot of fears, because factually we haven't won anything, and most importantly as well, we've seen what we'd like under pressure. We've seen us in this position before where we have been the front runners. 22-23 were the front runners. And we managed to allow Man City to take control in the second half in the last straights. And then 23-24, there was no margin of error after we lost to Fulham on New Year's Eve. So we had to win every game, which we virtually did until we drew against Man City, which was not a big deal. But losing to Aston Villa was catastrophic. So our history and our fans have seen us get into some really excellent positions and not be able to see them through. And this is just facts. So there is fear and trepidation. Another thing as well is that the scales are falling for a lot of our fans' eyes on the basis that whether we like it or not, we are now facing teams who are good enough to put us under pressure, who got substitutes, who can come off the bench and win against us, teams that don't fear us. And we're in a situation now where the doubts are going to creep in. Why shouldn't they creep in? It's the Premiership. So it's the hardest league in the world, right? And another thing as well, we've had it easy. teams are when teams are dropping points, City and Liverpool, we were consistent. We weren't conceding goals, but hindsight is 20/20. But facts are there. We beat sides we should be beating. The only team in that run that I think, we really got a really good win there was Newcastle, because they gave us a few pumpings last season, home and away. So that was a good win. Apart from that, the reality reminder, Sunderland was a big reminder, Chelsea's a massive reminder, and Villa's a big reminder. And there'll be other games. So the league isn't won in November. It's not won in December. It's won in May when the medals are getting handed out. And Arsenal fans should know by now that if we win the league, it's probably going to be a situation where we're going to win it in the last day, because that's Arsenal. We're not good at running away with it. We let teams back in because they're scars down. I don't care what anyone says. The players have stats. We've got stats as fans. The manager's got stats, because when they have got in these positions, they bottled it. These are facts.
We've been in better positions, Kenny, and bottled it than this. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 10 points clear at one point, were we? Against Man United and threw it in the bench. DJ, good questions here, mate. Good questions coming in tonight. I'll tell you what's good tonight. I had an agenda, right? There is one thing I will talk about right at the end, but
it's nice, isn't it, to get the panel in?
It's great having the chat in here tonight. Nelson, 1996. We are going to win a major. You lads worry too much, I think. And why is there so much uproar from Nelson? We are top of the league at Xmas, pretty much. No need to be too harsh on the team. Well, we are top of the league at the moment. We are, but
not even close to Christmas yet.
We have got a game at the weekend which we should batter Wolves. DJ, what do you think? Do you think we're being too pessimistic? Do you think Nelson's right? Do you think that he's bang on, that we're going to win a major?
Look, at the end of the day, people say, it's an overreaction. Oh, we've only lost one game. It's an overreaction. We should be grateful we're top of the league. We're top of the league. I don't know what everyone's worried about. The thing is, this is not about this season. This ain't about being top of the league right now. This ain't about an overreaction after the Aston Villa. This is a virus that's been at the football club for like 2-3 seasons now and beyond. The last 6 seasons. This is like a reoccurrence all the time. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like having that spot on your face when you're a kid or something that keeps coming back and back and back, and you're trying to get ready to go on a date, and it just pops up every now and again, and you go, "Oh, not again." You know what I'm trying to say, Jez? It's like, it's coming back over and over again. But people say, "Oh, we should be grateful that we're top of the league." No, we're Arsenal Football Club. We shouldn't be lucky we're top of the league. That's what we should be. That's minimum requirement. Minimum requirement of supporting this football club, managing this football club, and playing for this football club is trophies. That is the minimum expectations. And the problem is our standards as football fans that's where we should be.
Tony,
that's where we should be. We should be top of the league. It's how can we stay there? And that's the problem. We can't. We've bottled a 7-point lead already.
Yeah.
Let's not gloss it up. Let's not try and gloss it up. Oh, we're top of the league at Christmas. We're not. It's not Christmas Day yet. When I'm sitting eating my dinner and we're top of the league, I want to see by how many points. If this manager had rotated the team properly in certain games, when we were 3-0 up against Spurs, Declan Rice should have been pulled off. There was no threat at all of Spurs winning that game. They didn't want to win it from the start, Jez. Let alone when we were 3-0 up. And he's kept him on for 95 minutes plus. Right? If this manager can get his in-game management right, and he can't, and he hasn't, and if he can't get it right after 6 seasons, he ain't ever going to get it right. If he can't get his squad rotation right, so players are fresh, then there's going to be question marks. This is
sorry,
why
DJ, to cut across you, but getting it right in the middle of the season doesn't work either, by the way, because it's too late now because all the players are injured. You can't rotate them anymore.
That's what I'm trying to say. If he hasn't got it right now, he ain't ever going to get it right. This is why I want to change your management, because every single thing that we talk about on streams, when we go live and backstage and everything else, we have the same conversation year in, year out, year in, year out. And this conversation is, can Arteta do this? No. Is he going to do this? No. When did he got found out? Yes. Look what he done in game management there. Yes. And it's the same year in, year out. Every single season. So when people say to me, oh, we should be happy, why should we be happy? We haven't won nothing. Why should I be happy that this manager, that I can't trust this manager to win anything? I'm not happy. I want managers at this football club that I can trust, that can win trophies under pressure, that when we're 3 points clear, 4 points clear, they go and win again and we go 7 points clear. And then they go and win again and we go 10 points clear. Trouble is, look at the league table. Man United, the team that's washed, and if Haaland don't play for them, they're finished. And they're this, and it's not the same City that we've seen over the years. Thank God it ain't the same City we've seen over the years. They'd be 8 points clear of us now. They're 2 points behind. This Man City team, that all the Arsenal fans, and I've been on channels with them, that are turning around saying, oh, City are this. Oh, it's not the same City team. Well, if it ain't the same City team, how comes they're only 2 points behind the supposedly best team in the world? They're not even firing yet. Foden's only just hitting form. They've got Foden, we've got Saka. Who are you taking? Who would you rather see in a red and white shirt right now?
Foden.
Exactly. They've got Haaland that can score goals. We've got Gorkarez that has just been pushed off the edge of a cliff. He already knows he's not the number 9. He's not first choice. The manager has come out and blatantly said it. He's already been told that Havertz is his number 9. What confidence is that giving you, a striker that scored 97 odd goals all round Europe? Comes to Arsenal, looks like he's just come from Barnet. You got Trossard, who we wanted to sell in the summer, and all the fans were saying, oh, yeah, get money for Trossard. He don't want to be at the club. This is a guy that didn't even want to be at the club last season when he couldn't get a spot. Now they're dressing him up. Oh, he's our best attacking player. Trossard's our best attacking player. Make it make sense. I can't get my head around it. And when people come on to me and say, oh, why ain't you happy you're top of the league? Oh, why ain't you happy this? Why ain't you happy that? Because I don't trust the manager. Do you know what I mean?
Seeing it, mate. We're already seeing it.
It's like driving a car that hasn't been serviced for 10 years. You drive it, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking, it's going to break down at one day. This is
the mentality here. This is the mentality here, Nelson. That Foden's not better than Saka. Foden's been playing with world-class players. So he's saying that we have world-class players, but now he's saying we don't.
Yeah, but you can't. Exactly. How can you say that in the same breath?
Now he'll say, oh, well, we have them now. We have world-class players. We have them now. We haven't had them before. That's what he'll say.
But hang on a minute. Saka is apparently world-class. So why ain't he pulling up trees right now? He's had 6 years under this manager to improve. This guy should be off the Richter scale. Saka should be scoring 15 goals every single season minimum, and he should be assisting all over the place. And he's not. Martinelli fallen off of a cliff. Gorkarez, don't look the player he was. Marino, when the pressure's on, falls on the floor and rolls around. Yeah. Every single player that this manager has had in an attacking position looks as he's ruined. Nelson couldn't get the best out of him.
He's on the Chargers now. The Chargers are why Saka has to be playing well. The City Chargers. Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
We don't pay extortionate wages.
Come on. Just look at it. Just look at it. Look at what Foden is doing. Look at the medals he's won. Look at the trophies he's won compared to Saka. And I'm telling you now, and I'll end with this, Jez. If we don't win anything major, and I'm talking major, I was happy with an FA Cup or Carabao Cup at the start of the season, and I'd still be happy with it. But it won't be enough to save this manager's job, and it shouldn't be. Any team like Arsenal with any real ambition going forward, an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup with the money's been spent, should not be good enough for this manager to keep his job, right? And as I said, you cannot keep glossing over it all the time. If you want to raise the standards at this football club, you've got to stop listening to the crap that you listen to in the media. You've got to stop listening to post what you hear in the press boxes where they're told, what are you? Listen to Curtis Shaw. He's been around there, right? He said they ask him what questions are you going to ask?
Yep, vetted.
They're vetted before they even go in.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask him, why ain't Declan Rice been rested? Why does he look so fatigued? No, you better not ask him that. Oh, no.
And then they're giving other ones, DJB, to give him so he can big himself up. They're giving other ones to drip feed him these excuses.
Exactly. You know, and it's just crazy. You have to look at it for what it is. And until people do, this football club is not going to move forward. It's not going to move forward. So, I'm just, happy that we're top of the league. Of course, I'm happy we're top of the league. I'm happy when Arsenal win matches. Do I trust him that he's going to stay there and win a trophy? No. I've seen too many cracks against Sunderland, against Aston Villa. I'm seeing a lot of things that I'm seeing in previous years gone by, Jez. A lot of things. And that's worrying. Really worrying.
The thing is, I think I'm going to come to you in a minute, Shane, but what Nelson's making out here is, why can't you give the manager the credit so far? Always against the manager, the team has gained more experience after all the title challenges. I mean, Nelson, you always think I call you out, right? But with a stupid, naive comment like that, why do you think people will call you out? Because that is an absolute bullshit comment. I don't know what you're watching, or you're watching it through rose-tinted glasses or whatever, man. But coming second 3 times doesn't gain you any experience whatsoever, because we haven't learned. The manager hasn't learned. So, okay, we were, on a nice lead. Now we've only got a 2-point lead. What makes you think, right, that we are going to be top of the league at Christmas on Boxing Day? Now, I know Kenny Ken hates Boxing Day football, but
I love it.
I know you do, but hey, it's history. But, I'm sorry. I'm not having a pop at you, mate, but that is a bullshit question, man. It's a bullshit.
Yes, before we go to Kenny, can I just come on it?
I'm going to go Shane.
What do you think it does for players' confidences? Keep getting so close and keep losing again. That's not gaining experience. That's gaining something in football you don't want to be in. You want to be in a place where you're. How have you gained experience when you've gone from second to second to second to second? You should be going from second to first if you've gained experience.
Yep. And do you know what it is, DJ? It's when the more you slip up like that, the worse it gets, the harder it gets to get over the line. Just look at Jimmy White in World Finals in snooker.
Mentally, it's
every time. The more Jimmy White lost finals in World Snooker, the more, when he was miles ahead, he'd miss a shot, and in his head he'd go, "Oh no, here it comes. I'm going to start throwing this away," and you start to make mistakes. So the more experience you get in bottling, the worse it gets. Because now I can tell you right now that the Gabriels of this world and the players that have been here for the other 2-3 years of finishing 3 years of finishing second, in their head now that it's getting clawed back, they're going, "Oh, here we go again. Here we go again." So you're saying sack Arteta now? Yes, I wanted him sacked in the summer. I want him sacked whenever it takes, because I don't think you get us over the line. This idea, right, that they have that, well, he's top now, so just forget everything that came before. They don't understand that even if we won the league this season, right, that would be 7 years and 2 trophies. It's still not good enough for Arsenal. Right? It's still not good enough. You cannot whitewash all of the failures beforehand. So it's done in periods. If Chelsea are closing us down for trophies, they don't seem to register these things. That it's about your history. Everything is about your history. Everything is about, you know, the way you can say, well, we got this amount of trophies, we got that amount of trophies. He will be judged when he finishes finally. Say it's 5 years from now. He will be judged on his whole career at Arsenal, not the most recent thing he did. Not that he won something 3 years before he finished. Just like Arsene Wenger is judged over his whole period. We don't just say Arsene Wenger is the best manager we ever had and just bookmark it at 2004. You can't do that. That's not how it works. You have to judge him on the whole lot. So 7 years and 2 trophies when you have spent more than every Arsenal manager in history combined is not good enough. And this is hypothetically that he does actually win something. So I wanted him sacked even if he won last season, just like DJB. And people say, oh, well, that's an agenda. That's not an agenda. We're worried about the players' welfare. Look at the amount of players that are getting destroyed by this guy. We've already torn up Tommy Asu's contract. Jesus is dead to the world. Timber will be the same someday. Gabriel's breaking down all the time. These players are going to get worse and worse and worse with injuries. And he is a bottler by nature. And then when the chance comes for these players to win something, we'll have missed it. And these guys will have to move on. Saliba will move on in a couple of years if we don't win. Saka will move on in a couple of years if we don't win. So yes, we want them gone now. It's like England with Gareth Southgate. I've always said that if they had a winning manager over that period, they would have won something. You can't go back in time now and change it. So you would have wanted him sacked.
93 injuries since the start of last season.
Yeah, and so many of them are down to him.
Let that sink in.
And then the impact injuries, by the way, the ones that you say you can't blame him on. Like, I don't blame him for Mascara's injury. That was just the way he landed. That's fine. No problem. I don't blame him for the Odegaard injured. He had a big knee-to-knee clash. What I do blame him for with the Odegaard one is making him play on for 15 minutes and making it worse. I do blame him for the Saliba one because he made him play against Liverpool and he didn't have to. I blame him for ruining Ben White's career. He made him play in 2022 with a torn hamstring, a grade 2/3 hamstring. He made him play against Newcastle. He then made him play for 4 months on a knee and when he needed knee surgery. So I blame him for all of that. That's why I want him out. I want him out for not using the youth properly. We've got a golden generation that he hasn't used. Not well at all. He hasn't improved any of them. And don't give me Saka, because if we had a manager like Hansi Flick or Arsene Wenger or someone like that, Saka will be levels above where he is now. And he wouldn't be injured all the time. Saliba had his best season at Marseille. And I'll stand by that forever. I will stand by that forever. He at Marseille that year was absolutely exceptional. So I'm not having it. The reason that we want him out has a lot more to do with our dislike of him. And I've never hidden my dislike of him as a person, by the way. I don't have to like him as a person. I don't know him as a person, but I don't like what I see. I think he's a scumbag. I didn't like Granit Xhaka. I wanted him to do well, but I didn't like him. That's the way it is. I don't have to like everybody that plays or manages my club. But I'll tell you what I do love and unconditionally love is my club. To death, I love my club. I lose sleep. I feel sick. I get the shakes. I'm useless when they're losing, when they're playing, even when they're winning with the nerves. But I don't like this manager. I don't think he's the right man. I never have. I never will. And even if he somehow scams a trophy at some point, I don't think he's the type of manager that will go on and dominate. So no, I don't want him at the club. At any point do I want him at the club.
What's frightening, if he wins a trophy, you know he's going to be here another 5 years.
Oh, he's got tenure. Yeah, he's got tenure.
That'd be 11 years with 2 trophies. What big club would suffer that?
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't get this at all, these people. Honestly, man. Variel 78. Take the same advice. You men tell the top Gooners and calm down. We are still top and the season is not over. You men are overdoing it because of so much hate for the manager. Look, mate, look, we are rational, intelligent, level thinking people who have seen this going on now for way too long with this manager. I don't hate Arteta. I've never met him. I don't want to meet him. What I'm saying and what we are saying, he isn't good enough. He's a rookie, right? And he's proven he isn't the man for the job. Kenny, on this question that Varel 78 has put in,
They're the ones saying that about sacking the manager now, by the way, Jez. Sorry to cut across you. None of us have said sack the manager yet. We've said that if it happened, me personally, I wouldn't be sad about it. But not one of us have mentioned sack the manager. They keep saying it in the chat and then putting it out there. Sorry. Just
that's fair comment, mate. Kenny, look, you've watched Arsenal all your life. Shane's watched Arsenal all his life. I've watched them all my life. DJ the same. We've seen there, been and done it. Right, and what we're seeing here is rinse and repeat, and we're talking only about the Arteta period here, right? The time he's been at the club, 6 years, it will be December the 19th. We're just seeing the same shit, Kenny. So I think we are entitled to call it out. I don't hate him. I've never met him. Kenny, please give me your opinion on this.
The thing about it is that the best way to answer that is that when things go well, they give these managers like little titles: Arteta ball, Pep ball, Ange ball. When things are going well, so basically, when you label a manager and call ball after it, you'll be basically saying that every success we have is down to him. You're giving credit for everything else. But if you're going to do that and you're entitled to do that, then there has to be scrutiny if things don't go well. You can't have it both ways. The manager is the alpha, can't be the alpha and omega when it suits. And you say that when Arsenal lose, it's always the manager, and when we win, he never give him credit. Well, that's ludicrous anyway, because if you see something the manager's doing right, if you're a proper football person, you will praise it anyway. So that's just a non-starter as well. And I think people will say that sitting on one out. Yeah, our reputation does precede us, but the fact is that it is where it is. If you see something tactically that's not going right, who do you call out? You call out the manager. If you're not happy with team selection, you call out the manager. That's just facts. If you feel that a player's been overplayed and you worry about injuries, and you've seen instances when there has been injuries, then you call out the manager. It's just, again, that's facts as well. It's not personal. It's only as personal as people want to make it. You know what I mean? We could all do the sort of like Big Daddy and giant haystack thing if you want, but this is a football discussion. The manager's part of that. The fact is that he's a victim of his own progress. When you say, look how far Mikel's taken us, that's fine to say that, but you still allowed to want more. You still want to see him get to the sort of finishing line and win trophies. That's ultimately what he's here for. He's at a big club. He's at the third biggest club in the country. Mm-hmm. You can't be exempt from winning trophies because a manager's getting criticised. The fact is, it's in his remit to win and win big. And if they can't handle it, that's not really our problem. It's the way things are, and they should be able to take it on the chin. That's how I look at it. The fact is, if we don't win it this season, and this is not me causing problems, it's another another year without winning trophies, and its questions will be asked, because if you look at all the managers, they don't last 6 years in any job. Even if they do win trophies, they get moved on because teams want to freshen them up, and that's what's going to happen. That's the question with Arteta, whether you guys like it or not. We rather we win. I would love to not talk about him, but the fact is, if you're going to call it Arteta ball and you're going to ask us to stick by it, then he has to be able to get the scrutiny as well. Works both ways. Can't work one way or the other. You can't you can't make him responsible for everything that is good at his club, and then if things go wrong, just blame other people, blame referees, blame a shit player, blame the scheduling in the league, blame like I said, VAR. No, the manager's the alpha and omega, and I do feel that he has to, like I said, scrutinised. And that's the way it is. Because he'll be the first person to do that. If he doesn't win, it's going to be out of our hands. We don't have to say anything. People will question him, whether we want it or not, or whether we want it, or whether we think it's the right decision. That's football. Get on with it. Just deal with it.
Very good point, mate. Varel78 says, name a club that sacks their managers when they are leading the league before the season is over. I remember somebody at Real Madrid getting sacked before the season was over. I mean, they're probably the biggest football club in world football. So, yeah, it does happen. Yeah, true, yeah.
Look at Liverpool, Jez. If they don't get their act together, he's gone, and he won the Premiership last season.
Yeah, fact.
This
guy, not one of us here have said sack him. I've wanted him sacked for time. Of course I have. If that includes now, then fine. I'll stand by that. But I wanted him sacked before the season. But not one of us has brought up, let's sack him now. Not one of us has said that. They keep saying that and using that. Like, oh, you guys want him sacked at Christmas. It's crazy.
I think the problem is that they can't differentiate between supporting the club and supporting Arteta. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
We support the club, not the manager. We support the manager because he's the manager of our football club. But on the whole, we support Arsenal. The problem is, if you look back at our streams, when we beat Bayern Munich, when we've had good performances in the league, when we've played well this season, the difference is with us, we can praise and give credit where credit's due. But we can also criticise, and we will criticise, and we will pull up problems if we see them. That's what we can do as football fans.
But we've done it forever.
Right? Unfortunately, the people with the Arteta posters all over their bedroom walls and ceilings can't do both. As soon as you mention Arteta this and that's it. It all blows out of proportion. You can't say that. Ain't you happy? And then they start then getting onto your case. You ain't a proper Arsenal fan and you're not this. No, I am a proper Arsenal fan. I can get the balance right. That's the difference. I can be realistic but not delusional. And at the moment, I'm not realistic about this manager. I'm not realistic that he's going to go on to win big things and retain it, people, and retain it. You got to remember this squad, this football club has had a lot of money spent on it, not just for the short term, for the long term. So had over £1 billion spent on it. Players are having 5-year contracts given to them, 280 grand a week, plus hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of bonuses. 5 years, right? So it's not about this season. It's about what he does next season and the season after and the season after that. People forget this. They live in the moment. Oh, yeah, but look what he's doing now. No, look what he's done in the past.
Yep.
And look what he's potentially got to do in the future. If it's taken him 6 years to potentially win a Premiership, how long is it going to take him to win another one? Because these players are getting paid a lot of money. They've got big contracts. So you would accept one Premiership title. Let's say he gets another 5-year deal. So that's 11 years at the football club. You're telling me one Premiership title in 11 years is good enough? It's pathetic. Think outside of the box and you might find out what supporting Arsenal is really like.
Good point, mate. Well said. Very well said, my friend. Big up, Tony, mate. Hammers Football TV. Good to see you, Tone. Wonder where you've been. Jez, you lot are delusional. All this talk about the manager. Jez, see, things haven't changed with some of these people haven't mixed much. Then no, you haven't, mate. It hasn't changed. Just do this super chat here, people. JJ07 Football 10. Oh, that's an interesting one. Thank you, mate, for your super chat. Why do fans on various channels like Sky always back Arteta? Because they want to be the get-along gang. And it's all about the brown envelopes, my friend. You know,
it's influence. It's all about influence. The fact is that I always say that if I was running a major conglomerate and I showed you guys around, you're going to see what I want you to see. You're going to see the positives, and I'm going to tell you, if you want to keep coming here, I want you to tell your friends and all your representatives what a brilliant man I am, how great my company is, and remember to say the good things about my company. That's how things work. You know, you could tell that, for instance, Odegaard, he's like if you criticise him, you're seen as like disloyal. Yet the people that are praising Odegaard on Twitter and social media invariably are the same people that were singing Arteta's praises at the Union Chapel in Islington and singing songs on his behalf. We know their game. And I was on Jan's channel a few weeks ago, and when I called these people out, they seemed to, one, not understand, and just couldn't take it. But one person, the one with the brains, he knew what I was talking about. I won't name him, but you know I'm talking about. And he has battles with you, Shane, but let's not mention his name. He knew what I meant because he's now getting on the mainstream of Sky. He's now part of the AFTV, and he knew that I was telling the truth because he would have had that brief when he goes to the Sky. Don't forget to say good things about your manager and our great club. When you on AFTV, he would have been advised as a young, up-and-coming broadcaster or content creator. Don't do this. Don't hang around with him. Don't be like that if you want to get on. He would have had all the speeches, so he didn't question me. The one who would like to get onto those platforms will start going, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Because he doesn't know that I know he wants to get onto his on his platforms. And that's how it works. It's always been the way. You know, Sir Alex Ferguson was very much a bully and a bulldozer. His actions were louder than words. He said he used to ban journalists from Old Trafford and from the Cliff, and then obviously Carrington. Arsenal do it in a very subtle way where you can still be banned, you can still be, like I said, blacklisted, but it's very subtle. For instance, I can tell you for a fact that this has happened because before the West Ham game, I get on really, really well with someone who does the publicity for the club, and he is. You know, I'm not going to mention his name because I still talk to him a lot, and I see him at Chelsea away. But he interviews the players on our Arsenal TV on the main show. You know what I'm talking about. He asked me. He said, Kenny, can you do me a favour? Can you just give a few words about because it's Men's Mental Health Day. Can you just give us something? So a few words on behalf of the club and just get men to talk about mental health. So I did me minutes. I mentioned something about mental health. Every person who, like I said, talks about mental health on the Arsenal channel got their, like their 5 a minute, their 30 seconds. All their 30 seconds was filmed. Mine was cut. Why? Because I say things about the club and I call the club out, to account and I question the manager. And if I didn't question the manager and I didn't call the club to account, my like I said, my section wouldn't be cut off. And I knew it was going to come in, but I said, look, it's for you. I'll do anything for you. But that's the way things are. That's the sort of scrutiny that we're all under. And that's a fact. The club are watching this right now, and if they ain't watching it, they're going to be watching. They're going to go back on it. They know all content creators, and they know who to blacklist and who don't to blacklist. Anyone who thinks that I'm talking absolute is completely deluded. I know
they do. They watch
because I've seen it. We know this for a fact. So you look at the the Arsenal Amazon documentary. They didn't have AFTV on because AFTV were blacklisted, but they had other podcasters on, and they used their footage. So they are approved people. The Aaron Ramsdale discussion was used by Sky. It wasn't objected by Sky because the person who had Aaron Ramsdale on had Kevin Campbell on. So they were never going to cut that, were they?
No, it's not.
Exactly. And even Troops, they used that because Aubameyang was on it. They may not, the Daily Mail give him credit, but he did a show in the Daily Mail. They had no choice but to get Troops on because they use his footage on his channel. But I know how this game. It's a game, and anyone who thinks this is authentic and organic, just stop it. It's not authentic. It's not organic. It's handpicked, and it's controlled by Big Brother, which is Arsenal Football Club.
Of course it is. We know that. This is. I mean, Kenny, what you just said is absolute fact. I know they watch every channel out there, right? Because of course they're going to. They've got a media team that's going to look around what's going around it on YouTube, the biggest platform, right, in the world. So they're going to look they want to know what's being said, right? Of course, a lot of it's going to be not shown within the club. Of course not. That's never going to happen. But let's move it on. I don't want to hold you gentlemen all night. I want something I think is very important to talk about, Kenny, and you've just sort of touched on it. A once Arsenal great, in my opinion, right, really pisses me off nowadays. I'll come to you first, Shane, on this guy, right? 3 Premier Leagues, FA Cups at Arsenal, right? And this guy, right, is so. I don't know what's happened to him. Maybe the Tuesday Club got to him in the end. I don't know. But Shano, Martin Keown, absolute dickhead, right? And I called him a dickhead because I could call him a lot worse. But the other day against Villa, when we just didn't get the game right, and I'm sorry to have to say for you Arteta lovers in the chat, Arteta fucked that up. Right, he got it all wrong. A far better manager, Unai Emery, outfoxed him. But to come out at the end of the game, Shano, and say Odegaard was man of the match, and he then tried to save himself by saying on statistics.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sorry, nobody could be man of the match on statistics. The only way you can be man of the match is on how you play.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, am I being wrong here? Am I wrong? Because,
not at all, Jez. Sorry, go on.
No, go on, please.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong at all. I did a rare watch along. I don't do Arsenal watch alongs because I watch the matches with my missus. She's a big Arsenal fan, but she was away that day. So I did a watch along with views, and the second he got man of the match, I was furious. I said it. Unless Odegaard had had the worst game imaginable, missing penalties, or we had lost 3-0 or 2-0, and I was 1-1 at the time. Now when he gave him the man of the match, fair enough. But any score that we didn't lose, and if Odegaard played past 70 minutes, he was getting man of the match before kickoff in that game, because even as he gave him man of the match, he mentioned Eze and he mentioned. The decision to play him out the wing and to drop him against Brentford. So he was putting that in there. But DJB touched on this as well the other night. This is just there. So if Arteta gets questioned at the end of the match, why did you drop Eze? He can go, well, Odegaard got man of the match, didn't he? You know, these guys are corporate shills, top to bottom. There was a handful of players, many players on that pitch that were better than Odegaard. And Keown has been doing this for a while. Now I can separate the player from the pundit, from the shill, the corporate shill. I can separate it. I loved him as a player. I don't like what he's doing now. I read his autobiography recently. I enjoyed it. You know, I separate him, no problem. Same with Ian Wright, same with all these guys. I can separate what they're doing now to what they've become. People have to pay the bills, you know. But what the good thing that has come out of that is that it's sort of opened some of the more blind people's eyes. Some of the more blind people's eyes that this is. It's all, like Kenny said, this is all orchestrated. And if anybody, including the Arteta sexuals in the chat, can tell me of a manager that has won one FA Cup in coming and going into his 6th year now, That if they can tell me a manager like him that has been protected as much as this guy ever, that has been bigged up as the greatest manager, there's never been one before, never, to get this sort of respect that this guy gets. And it comes to all this because people are idiots. Most people are idiots, and they just, whatever they're told, they go with. They don't have minds of their own. Oh, well, he said that Odegaard's man of the match, so he must have been. They never think that he might have an ulterior motive. He also said Saka was playing a blinder when he got subbed off. I mean, Saka was awful in that game. But that's what he's there for, to protect his manager. The same for Lee Dixon, who said Declan Rice, he wouldn't drop him for Roy Keane, wouldn't drop him for De Bruyne, wouldn't drop. Come on, man. I mean, give me a break with this. They're all at it. And then you look at the Tom Cantons, who the very next day he brought on 5 or 6 of his most sycophantic chat to just big up Arteta and say, well, the injuries aren't his fault. Oh, yeah, no, the injuries definitely not his fault. Why are you suddenly talking about the injuries, and why are you bigging it up and saying it's not his fault the day after? And now someone's after putting up that Declan Rice was ill during the Villa game. That Arteta's just admitted he was ill. He's also admitted that Trossard picked up another knock. So he did bring him on injured. He got injured on the same, he's played him on an injury. So if they were to keep hiding this guy and protecting him and pretending that it's not going on, it's fine. Look, you keep doing it. I've said this before. The reason that it won't hurt us as much, it will kill us, by the way. Mentally, it'll do us in. If we throw the league away again, it'll hurt us. But for these guys, it'll shock them more, because we'll fall with our hands out because we know it's coming, or we at least suspect that it's coming. They're so oblivious that they won't put their hands out when they're going to fall flat in their face. They need to go back and look at our content, Jez, from the week of the Tottenham/Bayern game. We were giving this manager plaudits on every stream we were on. He got it right. He did this right. He did that right. Perfect. Brilliant. Want to see more of that? Please do that again. Do that again. Did he do it again? No. He went straight into the Chelsea game, went back to type, messed it up. Terrible performance then against Brentford. And then we got played off the park against Villa. So with the Keown thing, they're all the same, Jez. They're all corporate shills. I mean, can you imagine Amarin admitting after a game that he played an injured player, that he brought an injured player, put him on the bench and subbed him on? Admitted it, because Arteta admitted it. Yeah, he wasn't right and I played him. Can you imagine Amarin, the pelters he would get? He would be getting shredded on Sky. He'd be getting shredded on TalkSport. He'd be getting shredded on all these channels by his own fan channels. If he said, yeah, look, Bruno was injured, so I put him on the bench and then I brought him on and had to take him back off again because I knew I could only get 20 minutes out. And then go into his next press conference like he just has tonight and said, yeah, no, he's picked up another knock on the same area. And just not get questioned. It's an absolute madness. It's an absolute madness. And as Jonathan says, why don't these journalists ask for honesty about injuries? Because, like Kenny said, this club have handpicked who goes into those press conferences. Everyone that goes into those press conferences are the Cantons, the Semius, the AFTVs, all the people that are there to protect this manager. They're told what to ask, and they ask what they're told. And they'll deny it to the hill, till the fucking cows come home, they'll deny it. But that's the way it is. And Keown's just another extension of that. And what can you do, Jez? I mean, what can you do but just sort of feel pity that a man that was a proven winner and a pure winner as a player is now pushing this mediocrity? And I'd say he struggles to look at himself in the mirror when he gets up in the morning. I honestly do. I'd say it kills him. But look, you've made your choice now, mate. And you're doing irreparable damage to a lot of fans' memory of you. And it's a sad day for me, really. It hurts me when I see him do it.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. I mean, let's not forget, this was an Arsenal, in my opinion, legend, right? That particular game at Man United, when I can't think of his name now. The Man United striker missed the penalty.
Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well done. He went up to him and he was like all over him, right? Giving it shit to him. And you got this guy now sits there talking absolute drivel. Simon Jordan the other morning, Monday morning, absolutely ripped him a new one. How can you give Odegaard man of the match? Oh, on statistics, Kenny. I'm going to come to you, Kenny, then DJ. Right? Sorry, what are you talking about? Statistics? We all know statistics can be manipulated any which way you want them to be, right? It's a fact. Yet you're happy to actually say Odegaard, who once again slowed the game down, didn't make the vital passes, and you say he's man of the match. Come on, Kenny. You're muted, mate.
I'm mute, bud.
First of all, Bryce, where the hell was that Ali McCoy when you needed him?
Mm-hmm,
I mean,
yeah.
Ali McCoy had been caught in some sort of like web, caught up in some traffic where Mike Keown would never have got the job in the first place. You know, the thing is Mike Keown knows what he says on the tin. You see his performances on, TalkSport, and sometimes you just got to turn the off button, because the problem is with Mike Keown is that Mike Keown, Ian Wright, Alex Scott, all those kind of people, if you really, really want to listen to anyone, you've got to really listen to Paul Merson and Theo Walcott. It's saying a lot that Theo Walcott is a lot more balanced and a lot less biased towards Arsenal than Martin Keown. You would have thought someone like Theo Walcott would follow the club line, but he hasn't. He calls it out. Maybe because he's played a game recently, maybe because he knows Mick Arteta, and maybe because he isn't an Arsenal supporter, he's a Liverpool fan. Maybe Merson, the same Merce, he's a Chelsea fan, and that's the thing with Martin Keown. I think we've got to get a situation is that taking Martin Keown seriously, it just isn't worth it, because at the end of the day, he's not a particularly good pundit. He's clearly on the payroll. But Ian Wright is another one. I think if you want to listen to someone, you really need to listen to probably Alan Smith.
Yeah.
That's the problem with ex-Arsenal legends. Martin Keown, just like Ian Wright, is falling into this trap of currying favour with the Arsenal public. He wants people to adore him, to ask for his autographs, ask for his pictures. And a lot of Arsenal fans are precious. They're immature. You can't talk about Arsenal unless you say nice things about Arsenal. You can't call it out, because you have to be positive at all times.
Absolutely.
If you don't give an Arsenal player the man of the match, the Arsenal fans will get upset. If you don't say an Arsenal player is the best midfielder in the country, they'll get upset. If you don't say Saka's world class, they get upset. They say they're football fans, yet they don't debate objectively. They say they're Arsenal fans, yet they put players and managers before the club. Something's wrong here. If you're an Arsenal fan, then your God is Arsenal, and then Jesus Christ is Arsenal. Then Mary's Arsenal. John the Baptist is Arsenal. Arsenal comes first, second, third, and fourth. And if it means calling the club out, you call it because you love it. You want to win. You can't say we're doing really great when there's still fans who are frustrated that we haven't won a trophy. If we don't win anything next season, we can't say Saliba and Gabriel are the best defence in the country because they haven't won anything. We can't say Saka's the best right-sided player in the country. We can't say Declan Rice is one of the best midfielders, because we're going to look foolish. That's the way football is. I don't like it that way, but that's the way football's become. You guys, you young guys, have made football the winning the alpha and omega, because you don't want to look at the nuances. You think that discussion like this is boring. All you do is watch your highlight reels, or you stream things. You don't watch things live. So when you do things like that, you're going to get the bottom line. So when you get the bottom line, don't complain, because it's the bottom line that you don't want to hear.
True. You're absolutely true. I mean, the thing is, DJ, I come to you, then we're going to wrap it up. God, I don't want to drag this out. Right. Back in the days of when we had like George Graham on the terraces, it wasn't always happy days. Let's get it right.
No.
Yeah, we did win fantastic things. We done the domestic double. We did obviously Anfield '89. We did, nearly went unbeaten and all that. But there were times when I remember being in the North Bank, mate, and and people said, "Fucking hell, what's going on? What's this shit football, man? What we doing here?" Now, because there was no social media back then, we would talk amongst ourselves. You talk down the pub, you talk work, you talk, wherever you were, and you see articles in the paper, and you think that's a load of bollocks. What's that guy talking about? Right now, it seems you're not allowed to criticise Arsenal. Now, I'm not going to make Arteta the focus of this on this particular one, but you are as a fan, especially you and Kenny, season ticket holders. You spend silly money a year, right? But you do it because you love your club. You love it. Same as Man United fans, Liverpool, down the road, the noisy neighbours. Everybody spends big money now, whatever it is, whether it's just season ticket travel, buying merch, if you do that, programs, all this and all that. You're entitled to say, this is shit, man. This is shit. This manager's crap. I remember standing on, I won't lie, I remember standing on the North Bank when we were having a right bad time. And I said, fucking Jules Graham, man, it's about time he went. Great player for Arsenal in his day. He needs to go now. I remember saying that. But he went on, we nearly went unbeaten. And you think, okay, I got that wrong. But the point is, and I'm going to come to you on this, I'll shut up, DJ. This manager has won an FA Cup with it. It wasn't his team. I don't care what anybody says.
It wasn't.
All that team is gone, right? He's come second 3 times on the bounce, not won anything, thrown us out the FA Cup. He's got the worst record of an Arsenal manager in the FA Cup in recent times. Shocking. Thrown it in the bin and got past the 4th round. I think he's won 3
since he last won it. Since he won it, he's won 3 FA Cups. 3 FA Cup ties since he last won it.
There you go, mate. Have your say. I mean, it to me. It's
well, I'll break it down. And first of all, Keown, Ray Parlour, Ian Wright, all these sort of players that were absolute legends of the football club, who I absolutely admired, worshipped the ground they walked on when they played for the club. But since they've left the club, they've sold it. They've sold their soul.
For that.
Why? I'll give you an example. Martin Keown also played for Aston Villa. Why ain't he given Aston Villa player of the match? Simple reason. Aston Villa hasn't got him in the payroll. He can't get through the door at Aston Villa. They don't want him. They want him at Arsenal because he says all the right things.
True.
He's allowed to be on pitch side because he says all the right things. Tony Adams ain't. He's not. He's never been invited back to the club in any capacity. Right? Only when it suits them. Yeah. Manu Petit, another one. Thierry Henry doesn't need it. Doesn't need the Arsenal fanboy club. He can get anywhere he wants. Says it as it is. Absolute legend of the football club. The thing is that the problem is, Jess, is unfortunately in this day and age, it pays to be saying the right things, and you're not allowed to say anything different to anyone what they think. And that's the problem. And it's the same with Arsenal. Arsenal now has become like the kind of, how can I say, the leader in making sure that everyone obeys by the rules and the laws, and you're not allowed to say anything. Any other fan in any other football club around the country can criticise the manager, can criticise players. Man United fans do it. Yeah, one of the biggest platforms on Streamworld, Mark Goldbridge, he rips into Man United and sometimes criticises players and everything else. Never see him get called out. Never see him get kind of criticised much.
He sucks off Arsenal though, DJB.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's
That's a big ticket.
He don't let us do it, though, does he? He's
Yeah, but, and he's
mean.
another one. He's another one that when we call it out, it's wrong. We can't do that. We're not allowed to.
You got that weasel. You got that weasel that who hangs around with his.
So what I'm trying to get to, there's other fans from other clubs criticise us for calling our own club out. This is how
Why they call their own club out?
You got that teenage Spurs fan, or whether he's all Spurs fan in the 20s.
You got the Spurs fan. We're not allowed. We're negative. We're this. We're that. We're that. Right? They're all feeding off of these ex-pros and all these celebrities and everything else, right? And back in the day when we used to have proper chats, we were proper. That's how it was. That was football. I used to go from the North Bank. I'm going back years when I was at school. And I'd have stand-up rows with Arsenal fans and all that. And we'd have debates. We'd have lively debates. No, he weren't, man. No, he shouldn't have played. And this one shouldn't have happened. And that one. We're not getting on one another's cases and saying, you're not a proper Arsenal fan. That never happened in my day.
Never happened.
It was a football debate. It was a fans' debate. Now, you're not allowed to say anything. And this is the problem. And I agree with Kenny. Just don't listen to Keowns and all of that, because they're in it for they're only in it for one reason, to get the gig. That's all they're in it for. They're not in it they're not in it for any other reason. Parlour, that's why he goes there and says all the right things, and he's frightened to come out and actually say it as it is, because he knows he ain't going to go on tours and he ain't going to go to Rwanda and places like this and represent the football club. This man, the bottom line is it comes down to this manager. I have never, ever known it. And I've heard other people say it. We've said it time and time again. I have never known a football manager to get protection of the amount this... Even Pep don't even get the protection this manager gets.
And he wins. And he wins.
And he wins. I've never known it. I've never known other fans to criticise Man City fans for criticising their manager and football club. We criticise our manager and our football club because we've got a right to do it. And yet other fans criticise us for criticising them.
I know. Yeah.
That's what we've just said. Other channels do it. Other channels criticise us. They will clip us up on when we're on Leeds, when we're on here, when we're this, when we're that. They'll clip us up criticising our football club. It's got nothing to do with them. You take care of your own football club. You don't buy me my season ticket to go and watch my football club. I do.
Arsenal pays the bills, DJ. Arsenal pays the bills. As I say, I don't want to use crude terms, but if you watch films of ill repute, Arsenal's the money shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But what I'm saying, Kenny, they haven't got a right to criticise me or you or anyone else. I go and watch my football club. You've got no right to criticise me for having an opinion. I can have an opinion on my manager. I can have an opinion on whether the players are performing, because it's the club I support. I will also praise them when they're doing well, etc., etc. But how can you give man of the match if you're a football fan and you watch football and you take your Arsenal hat off? There was about 3 or 4 players that should have got that man of the match before Odegaard, and they weren't playing in red and white. Tielemans was one of them. Morgan Rogers was another one of them. There was about 2 or 3. That's 2 I've mentioned. They're not playing in red and white. Why does it make me less of an Arsenal fan just because I've named and at 2 Aston Villa players man of the match? Why am I not an Arsenal fan? Why am I not allowed to? I'm a football fan. I just happen to support Arsenal. As I said, it's ridiculous, and I've lost a lot of respect for ex-players that were once great. And I'll tell you why I've lost respect out of them. Right, is because they've actually played alongside top players.
Yeah,
they've been in the changing rooms and played in the same team as Dennis Bergkamp, Patrick Vieira, Robert Pires, Freddie Ljungbergs. And when they name their Arsenal best 11, they're putting Saka above Ljungberg. They're putting players in above Pires. They're umming and ahhing whether Bergkamp should be playing. Come on. What Arsenal planet are we living on? Because it ain't real. It's not real. It is absolutely drip-feeded by false narratives, PR that's completely off the scale. Yeah. Get back to being a football fan. Why can't we just be football fans and say it as it is? If the manager ain't good enough, if the manager ain't good enough, he's not good enough. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care how he talks. I don't care what he wears. I don't care about his hairstyle. All I care about is him winning trophies for Arsenal Football Club. And if he can't do that, there's the door. Close it behind you. Thank you very much. And at the moment, he can't do it. Because I'll end on this. Whether anyone likes it or not, injuries, tactics, what's set in on the training pitch, how we line up in on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon or a Monday night is all down to the manager. That's why the manager is on £15 million a year and not the coaches. Because the buck stops at him. He has the final say in everything. He has the final say on who's captain, not the players. That's another spin. Oh, the players voted for him. No, they didn't. They might have said, oh, yeah, I fancy Martin as captain. But ultimately, the manager has the final say. Like any CEO or top boss at any company, the buck stops at them. And everything that goes wrong with this football club is down to the manager because he is the sole person in charge. When they cross that white line, it's the manager. When they set foot on the training ground, it's the manager. He has the final say. So when it doesn't go right, it's the manager that has to pay for it, whether you like it or not. And that's where I am. Martin Keown's, Ian Wright's, Ray Parler's, thank you very much. I loved you when you played for Arsenal, but in your new career, I can't even watch you. Can't even listen to you. Don't want to listen to you. Don't want to watch you. And I don't have to. Simple as that.
Facts, mate. Well done. That's great. I think you said that very, very eloquently, to be honest with you. But Nelson's got something to say to you, mate. It's basically Christmas is coming. Cheer up. Okay. Well, when we've won the league at Christmas, Nelson, like you lot like to call it, then we'll all celebrate and have a great time. You know what I'm saying?
Nelson, I want the manager to prove me wrong. I've been waiting 6 years for the manager to prove me wrong, and I go to most games. I sit there and suffer it for the last 6 years. So if he proves me wrong, brilliant.
Actually, I've got
to buy me a beer on the parade.
I've got a question. Nelson, do you actually go to any games? Do you actually go to any games? Do you actually watch them live? Because I'm intrigued to know, because you're criticising two diehard Arsenal fans in Kenny and DJB that go week in, week out, go to the occasional away game, and you're basically just questioning them, and I think that just shows absolute disrespect to people that spend hard-earned cash in a very difficult period at the moment. They're entitled. They're entitled to have their say and say this is wrong. Yeah, Jay Shreds. Yeah, he gets the arse, mate, when I call him out. And he's a typical young man that it's if you don't agree with him, then you're wrong. The majority of the fans of the Emirates want him. Yes, last game went towards Forest. No, they don't. No, they don't. That's your little crowd that want him in. I know loads and loads of people that go, and they don't want him. They don't sing that arsewipe song, North London Forever. they keep their mouths shut because they don't want to be part of it, right? And at the end of the day, yeah, because you don't have a season ticket to have an opinion, Jez. Oh, fuck off, man. Jesus, this is the typical 12-year-old comment, isn't it? Right, mate. I went from 1968. Right, I went to over 2,586 games. When you get to that figure, mate, come and talk to me. Yeah, and that is why I call you out, because you're a pointless, idiotic little boy. So shut up and go away. Because at the end of the day, you've been blocked on this channel before and you'll get blocked again. So anyway, Shano, shout yourself out, mate. Shout your channel out. What you're coming up.
No, there's a big up for having me on, as always. It's one of my favourite shows to do. Kenny Ken, DJB and yourself, amazing. Big up to the chat as well. Yeah, Shane Gooner, of course. I'll be going live at 10:30 tomorrow morning for the full Irish. We'll be discussing Trossard being injured again, Rice, which I predicted not going on the plane, and bits and pieces along that lines. And then obviously the Bruges banana on Thursday, and then clean through one-on-one tomorrow evening with a special guest. Errol from Red Ben TV will be on with me and Views to discuss Salah and everything that's gone wrong with Liverpool. He's a top lad, by the way. And yeah, looking forward to that. But big up for having me on, and big up to the legendary chat.
Big up, mate. Big up. DJB, you'll be at the Wolves game at the weekend.
Well,
yeah.
There it goes.
Good
See
luck.
how we see how that goes. Yeah, you know that we listen. No matter how, I mean, we should get the job done against. Well, they're not the games I worry about, man. Our away form is looking very, very iffy. But yeah, no, big up, Jez, for having me on, and we really enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, as I said, we'll just keep it rolling, keep it going. Hopefully, we'll get over the line and win some trophies this season.
And you're at 10:30, mate.
That's the main aim. But who'd have thought Declan Rice not travelled, eh? Didn't see that one coming, really. Was he buckled under pressure, or has he made that?
He was ill. He was sick playing the Villa game, apparently.
Or has he made that
fatigue?
He's ruined. He's injured. He's needs time to recover, and he's fatigued.
Yeah,
he's broken.
There you go.
You're on at 10:30 tonight, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going live at 10:30 tonight. I'm going to have Taryn hopefully on, have a little chat. It won't be a long one, but it'll be a little late night chat tonight. I was invited on Dan Potts' channel, but I'd already set up my live show tonight. So yeah, but yeah.
Big up Marie, as always. Marie, did I tell you you're a chief mod now? Made you a chief moderator.
Marie's a legend.
Marie's a legend. Big up Marie.
Yeah, big up Marie.
It's only Mama and Marie are chief mods because they're balanced.
Mama, how are you?
They're balanced.
Mama as well, yeah. Big up Mama. Big up everyone in the chat as well. Big up everyone in the chat. Even Nelson, even though you're, you can go and.
Yeah, Nelson's all right. He's all right.
Go and lay down and have a look at your Arsenal. Go and look at your Arteta posters on the wall and cheer yourself up. Go on, mate.
Yeah, well, he told you to cheer up because Christmas is coming.
I'm cheery. I'm over the moon. I'm happy days all the time. Me, I'm telling you, it would take more than Arteta to upset me.
Facts. Kenny Ken, shout out your Instagram, my friend, please.
My Instagram is at Kenny Ken 1972. I'm having a bit of a pop at. Even though I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm backing Liverpool Football Club over their starts with Salah. Because at the end of the day,
yes, I am.
It's the club, Liverpool Football Club, that great institution, didn't exist because of Mo Salah. Mo Salah's part of that, and he's done a lot of great things for the club. But what came first? Your demotion or your poor form? The fact is, Liverpool, the players made sacrifices so he could have a free role, have no attacking responsibilities, and if you get all of that, plus you get a bump in your contract. You better deliver. You haven't delivered. It's thing. You didn't have to. No one made it public except for you, mate. You're the one who made it.
And it was intentional as well, Kenny, which makes it worse.
Yeah.
And where was Salah before Liverpool as well?
Exactly.
Floating around Italy. Come on.
Kenny, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If Saka had the same stance that Salah had and
Gone.
come out like that,
Out
or
the
if an
club.
Arsenal player come out like that,
Out.
would the fans? Yeah, I'm just wondering how many fans would actually
The real fans will
back him.
will condemn him, but we don't. But unfortunately, we do have fans who, on kind of, how to say it.
Well, the
Because
top
of,
gooners are choosing
tribal-
Arteta over
because
Saka.
of West African tribal reasons, nationality reasons, even though he plays for England, the national side, they will back him no matter what. But the thing is that we're lucky that Saka's not that kind of guy.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
exactly.
Very lucky.
No, exactly.
I think before, I'm going to leave you with this. Unai Emery would be successful with this Arsenal team because we don't have big time Charlies at the football club. That's why he's successful at Villa, because you don't have big time Charlies. If he's at a club where there's big time Charlies, he would not be successful, which means it's highly likely that Unai Emery would have won us the league because our players are sponges. They listen to Mikel and they would listen to Unai Emery. The garbage that we had before, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Guendouzi, Mesut Ozil, Kolasinac, those pieces of trash are no longer there. So that's my thought of the day.
Fair play. That's a good point, actually. We're going to wrap it up, people. Nelson, mate, it's all cool, man. Yeah. We do clash horns at times.
It's football. It's a debate. It's fine. It's
Mate. That's what it happens. It happens. You know, I've been there many times before. Big up Matty, mate. Southern Gooner. Salah has to understand that comes a point when you get older and the game is almost past you. You set up comrades to be left in the best possible scenario that requires humility.
Yep.
Lovely comment. Lovely comment. Good point, Kenny. Right, gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. Chat. This has been an amazing night. I swear down, I had 3 or 4 things I wanted to talk about, and I actually only got to talk about one of them, which is good because it's you guys in the chat that make it all worthwhile. The panel have been amazing in their discussion and their comments and their views and opinions. And just to say it again, 2 weeks' time, I will be doing the Arsenal Christmas history quiz. Ken will be there.
You better do it early because we've got Crystal Palace in 2 weeks, so you better do it early doors.
It will be. No, it will be. Yeah. It will be. I mean, you know me.
Good man.
And we sort that out. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
What do you guys? What do you fancy? R5?
That's great.
Yeah, R5.
If I make it, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, DJB might be there challenging for the crown. Shano's going to be challenging for the crown.
Yeah.
Kenny's going to be there. And
I haven't bought a ticket for the Crystal Palace game, but you've got to speak to possibly Dan because he might get, and that's because I think he might get a ticket to the Crystal Palace game. I'm not saying he will, but he might.
Oh, he will now. He will now.
Well, we'll see. He's got the.
He'll do everything he can now to get one, so he can avoid the quiz.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about that, but yeah, okay. Lawrence will be there. Kyle's coming. Kenny.
Is that the 23rd, Jez?
Don't ask me about.
If it's the 23rd, I've got to go to the theatre with the family. I've got to. We're going to see. We're going to see Jack and the Beanstalk starting Martin Kick starring.
I might then. I'm not all right if we're playing.
No. As I said, don't. As I said, I'll change it up, mate. I mean, I'm at theatre, but anyway, don't worry about it because I might be able to go. We haven't got a time that we're leaving yet, so I'll let you know.
No, I'll tell you what I might do, right? Because you've got it right. I might move it to the Wednesday to make it more comfortable and there's no rush and no panic and everything. So, shall we say the Wednesday, boys?
So that's Christmas Eve.
I'm easy.
Well, that's all right. It's fun, isn't it? Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I'll try and get there Christmas
Eve.
Well,
I said to I won't be. I'm not required as far as I know, but yeah, I'll make myself available.
Right, leave it with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, leave it with me. Or we can do it next week. What you do next week?
Well, why not? Next week then.
Do it next week.
Next week.
No pressure. No pressure.
That'd be our equivalent of a Christmas lunch, a works Christmas lunch.
Yeah, we do.
There's no midweek games next week
Yeah.
either.
Yeah. Next Tuesday then.
And we're gonna and Shane, we're gonna beat Bruges easily. We're gonna beat Wolves easily.
Yeah. Everton away is the tough one.
Yeah, that's one. But yeah, you can always.
Yeah, we should get the job done at Bruges.
Oh, we will. Yeah, we'll do both.
No, we will thrash Bruges professionally, and Wolves is pathetic. I mean, come on. Yeah. You saw the game against Man United, pathetic.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Cool. We all agreed. I'll let Lawrence and Kyle know that it's next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Takes the pressure off everything, and it's good. Shane, thank you, mate. DJ, Kenny, thank you for joining.
Yeah, guys.
DJ, I'll be watching you at 10:30 tonight. Take care, everybody. I'll do the outros, and have a good week. And come on, the Arsenal.